Hello, everybody. This is Anand Sharma from CXOTV.news, a flagship brand under the umbrella of Techplus Media Group. A warm hello and welcome to everybody. This is the third year of our webinar series titled Marketing Mondays. We have been touching upon various topics of interest to the marketing fraternity, and you can watch all our past events on demand at www.cxotv.news. Well, today's topic is equally interesting. It's on multiplier effect, the channel partners, and the go-to-market strategy. We keep hearing that channel partners bring the multiplier effect. And to make a channel partner successful, the secret sauce lies in successful GTM strategy. Well, let's learn how to create the secret sauce of successful GTM and how to execute it so that we can reap the benefits of the multiplier effect. We have an expert with us today to answer our queries. It's my privilege to introduce Anita Kukreja, Head of Marketing and Channel Sales at IceWarp. Anita, why don't you give your self-introduction and let me welcome you on the show.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's a pleasure seeing you, virtually. Like I mentioned earlier, it's been quite a distinctive and distant relationship, right, with our audiences and the way that things have moved on in the last 2 years. And it's a very interesting topic, I must say. I've been following your Marketing Mondays quite a bit in the past, and very interesting sessions, like I mentioned to you in our last conversation. It's been really good to have something as a platform that CXO TV has really gotten, where you actually share the knowledge with our audience for aspiring people who are in the domain, and also, of course, to learn from the experts and from the real life experiences in terms of what they're working day in and out. So as a professional, the last 20 years in the IT industry, it's been a very interesting journey where I've got to play various roles of handling marketing strategies and GTMs, including channel partners, where being a very core to our DNA and ecosystem. I feel that this topic is a relevant topic for us to talk about today. And I'm really interested and keen in the questions that you kind of, fireside chat with me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Welcome once again, Anita.
Thank you.
Let me share the standard disclaimer. The thoughts exchanged on this platform by the panelists are their own and may not represent or subscribe to the organization they work with. Thank you once again. So let me start the fireside chat, with my first question coming. When you think of channel partners, what comes to your mind?
Very interesting. So channel partners, like I mentioned, right, they are core to our DNA. When you look at a channel partner giving the reach, the visibility, the expansion, if you need to grow, and especially in the IT industry, to get you the reach, to get you the last mile to your customers, channel partners are the route to it. You really cannot survive, or you really can't plan your expansion without channel partners on the ground. It is very, very essential and imperative to have that as a strategy in your go-to market. I look at channel partners giving us the reach, the visibility, the last mile, as simple as that. And that's where I feel the importance of channel partners in your day-to-day working with the last mile, that is the customers.
Makes sense. So what sort of channel partners you have handled in the past or worked with in the past? And what has been your engaging strategy for them?
Okay. When I have to look at the channel partners that we are really engaged with in my past, in my previous stint where I was working with NetMagic, okay, NetMagic initially had been always a direct company. And something about, in terms of getting it to a channel-driven company or involving channel partners, because even there, it was very essential, right, to have channel partners take you to the expansion mode, where you actually are reaching out to the corners of pan-India, getting the reach that is required for you to, in spite of having as many feet on the ground. Partners really are essential when you have to really go down to A-class cities, B-class cities, and beyond. So that's where creating the processes, policies, and stuff, and then working with a varied channel partner network. right from a consulting partner to up till, a partner who actually is basically, involved in the deal end to end solutioning, implementations, migrations, and a lot of stuff. Till date, we see the variety coming in, across in any industry that you work in. Even today at IceWarp, we are basically a mailing and collaboration solution, and it is very essential. There are various kind of partners that we come across, be it system integration partners, be it ISP DC partners, be it, even small time partners who are basically taking you down south or down north or down west, any parts of these cities that you come across and reach that you get into. Engagement model has been very, very in depth. You need to invest on your partners. You need to really invest in terms of the training and certifications that you do for them. You need to get them to the level of an IceWarp employee on the ground. The customer is not concerned about who's talking to him. But when they are representing a brand, they need to speak your language. They need to pass on your messaging, your positioning. And that's where the customer gets the confidence, right? So you really need to invest a lot in each of these factors when you work with the partners. And of course, like when they're an extended arm of you, you also need to invest in them in terms of MDF funds. You need to invest in them in doing joint marketing activities. As much as you would spend time with your sales team, and you would educate them, you would kind of enable them. That's a similar activities and similar, time frame that you need to give to your partners as well. I think it is more about investment and also working with them closely as an extended arm of the organization that gives the differentiating factor and creating that connect with them to be able to, reach out to your customers and pass on the messaging that you would like to really pass on.
Having led myself partner strategy for Ramco Systems, which is an ERP company, I can't agree, less or more on this as to investment is something which you really need to work on, because if you look at partners as something which will keep giving you returns without any investment, then that's a wrong strategy altogether. So very, very rightly, aptly said, Anita. How do you enable your channel partners to bring the multiplier effect?
Okay, so enablement is all about, bringing them to the same platform that your sales team or your extended teams are. As I mentioned in my earlier talk with you as well, Anand, today, when you look at the partners, if you just appoint them as a partner and expect business coming out of from them, it's not that easy unless you have really enabled them and made them come to the power that a salesperson joining your team, you would onboard them, you would kind of spend time on them, you would ensure that they're talking the same language, the same conversations that you would have, the same messaging, the same positioning that your product has in the market. Once you've done all of that, you also ensure partners are extended with the same kind of knowledge base. Because if you are not doing that, you are missing a big piece in your system of kind of building the partner network that you want to. Because just appointing a partner doesn't assure business. Absolutely. Yes, they have relationships on the ground. I completely agree. But without product knowledge and without the the conversations they can have with the customer, the value proposition that they can bring in, you will not find value for the partners in the customer's mind as well. There have been instances where customers come back to us and say, why don't we deal directly with you? Why do we need a partner in between? But then that is the value that you need to ensure that the partner is creating in the minds of the customer. And that exactly is the biggest breakthrough. If you've done that, I don't see any challenge. And that's where you need to ensure that you enable your partner enough to be able to communicate the same language to the customer.
Absolutely. And I really like the idea that you need to bring them on the same platform or same maturity as your sales team
exactly.
is. Right.
Exactly.
So really appreciate it. But then, few channel partners, they do succeed and few of them are not so successful. What are the reasons? What do you think is the reason behind?
So many partners come in, right? They are interested when the customer asks them about the solution. Maybe today, if there are partners who come to us for signing up because they've heard about IceWarp somewhere, They have lost somewhere against in competition. Maybe they are talking about a competitive product and they come across IceWarp there, and that's where the inquiries come in, and they want to become a partner. So many cases, such partners are more than interested just to know about, what is it. So we do our due diligence of choosing the partners and signing up partners. But having said that, a couple of times we do fail as well, because we do not really know exactly, because there is a promise that the partner shows you, or somewhere the partner ensures that that this is what the commitments are together to work together. But in terms of failure, I see one of the biggest failure that comes across is being able to align your thought process together. The kind of enablement that needs to be done for the teams, the resources that need to be aligned to each other, the activities, the marketing activities as well, doing it together, ensuring that you are doing certain milestones in working together. If those are not achieved in the initial, say 60, 90 days, you will definitely find and come to know that this relationship is not really far-fetched. I think that gauge comes in the initial stage itself, and you really understand whether this partner is doing it out of compulsion or doing it out of just curiosity
passion.
Or what. Yeah.
Very
or passion for sure.
Very
so true. Partners do keep their the eggs in different baskets by signing up with different vendors and but then yes, there are a few partners who definitely would like to do the easiest part, where customer is asking for a particular product and then they kind of position that. And then I have also seen partners who are so passionate about doing newer technologies and newer solutions, and they really educate. I have got very few good partners who are actually so committed, and they today have an annuity business with us. They are so very much involved with us, with our teams. They work so together, and each one of us are so engaged with them that they've been able to create a good annuity business for themselves and a good difference to themselves. And I think, it's all about being able to align your thought processes, align your strategies together and your goals. Because if my goal is matching with your goal, of course, that goal happens to be revenues, right, ultimately, and the growth part. So we as a growing organization all across have been able to give that platform, and the right kind of partnership definitely enables you to kind of move in that direction. And I think that's where the success part comes in. I would rather say the failure part is something that goes across, but then success is definitely where you align yourselves to each other, able to grasp in terms of what kind of stuff that you do in the initial 60 to 90 days.
True, and you rightly pointed out that the partner needs to invest equally, whether in terms of bandwidth, whether in terms of resources, or to enable to free up his team so that the prime can enable the partner's team, right?
Absolutely.
So the commitment has to be from both the sides. Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely. Otherwise, it won't be a successful partnership.
Yeah, it's all about joint accountability, right?
Yeah,
ultimately.
Yeah. Any particular inputs on crafting or how to craft a successful GTM, Anita?
Yeah. So, Anand, I think there's no rocket science to a GTM. I mean, if I have to look at the kind of journey that I've had working with partners very closely, it's all about, if you see the partners typically have a gold mine in terms of the customers that they carry, right? Mm-hmm. As their home accounts or their named accounts, that they actually have the pride of working with them, mm-hmm. Day in and out. They've been servicing them for like last couple of years. So there is an engagement with the customer, with the prospect already there. And then they are also trying to acquire newer customers. So the GTM is very clear. If you know what regions you work for, if you know what kind of segment that I work for, is it the SMB segment or the mid-market segment or the enterprise segment? All of these things definitely play a very big role. And apart from that, you also look at where do you position this, right? Ultimately, which kind of customers do you really approach and work together? So what we suggest to our partners typically in the beginning of the journey, after you've done the enablement part, the onboarding enablement, and ensuring that they are talking the same language, and with us, we also ensure that we visit few customers jointly. That helps us to kind of establish, the theory part to a practical part. Our team working with them on the ground, understanding in terms of how do we really pitch to the customers, how do we really address their concerns or their apprehensions about moving to a newer solution. Because mailing and collaboration is a mission critical application today. It's a lifeline of any business, right?
Yeah.
So having said that, it's very essential for them to understand the in-depth knowledge about each aspect, and that's where you kind of engage with them on the ground. And beyond that, then it comes to POCs, doing demos together, ensuring that they're able to handle them on their own with their resources. And also post that, after the sale is done, the implementations, migrations, because any customer typically wants to ensure that the migration is done seamlessly without zero downtime. So those aspects have to be also very, very much looked into. So when a GTM is really planned, you ensure that all the resources are in place, the segmentation is clear, and the market approach is very clear. We look at all these aspects and sit down with our partners and ensure that the go-to-market plan is designed together as a business plan and then work towards it. What I truly feel is that when you have aligned these things together, the success mantra is already there. You have actually laid down some milestones for yourself and your team. And then now you need to really work towards that particular goal and ensure that it's being taken care of. Once you've done that, the success and the revenue model is created. And it's an annuity model again, right? Being a SaaS company, a cloud services market, it's a year-on-year revenue that you are actually securing yourself with.
Absolutely. I couldn't disagree on any point. You have made it so clearly and so easily. We all are coming out of COVID. The entire globe is coming out of COVID, right? So, do you foresee any change in the strategies unfolding in the future?
Oh, well, the strategies definitely continue, but there will be newer strategies that will emerge. Like your offline conversations have turned into online conversations as well. Every organization, partner, OEM is also interacting on online models, where you are moving towards webinars, you're moving towards online marketing activities. Digital marketing has taken its pace, and a lot of people are actually believing in the digital power of digital. So today we can boast about being adopting the digital mediums much more than what we were 2 years back. So I think strategies, of course, with time, you are adopting newer strategies to ensure that you are talking to your partners as well as prospects and customers. The traditional ones don't go anywhere ultimately. Even today, physical meetings are all the more exciting. Events are again welcome. I think we've come back again. We did participate in one of the events just about recently, and it was really a big respite meeting the customers after a long 2 years of overhaul. So all of this, of course, is accepted. But then, yes, newer strategies keep adding up in terms of your marketing strategies and along with partners as well, when you really talk about going to the market.
We did discuss that, they need to invest their commitment and passion equally, right? But apart from that, any tips you have for the partners as to what they must focus on from marketing perspective?
Well, I feel the opportunities are huge. Looking at the last 2 years, digital is become the topmost priority for every organization. When you look at any customers or prospects that we talk about today, everybody is wanting to move on. There were instances where people were happy with an on-premises software. They wanted the control of data and stuff. But then pandemic has actually given us the thought process that you need to move towards digital mediums, and cloud is the future. I think the adoption that has happened in the last 2 years is much, much more faster than the earlier years of cloud being in the market. And that's where the game changer comes in. I also feel as a personal note to the partners that, when you're committed, I think commitment does help in terms of working together, because it's also about aligning your clear strategies towards what you have signed up as a partnership. It's both the ways. I feel it's both the ways, be the OEM or the partner. when you really go back to the market and talk to your prospects, the kind of depth that you create and the kind of passion that you bring in for the product, that itself speaks for itself. And the customers kind of appreciate that. It is also about creating value. Creating value in the customers or prospects mind is of utmost importance. If you have done that, the existing partners will remain forever. There was a fear when cloud came into the market. Partners really felt that fear that, now that cloud is there, what role do partners play in this? I think, that's the journey when I saw it way back about 8-10 years back. But today it continues, right? As far as a partner is able to establish the value proposition that they bring in on the table, the kind of value they bring into the customer, the support they give to them, ultimately, and the relationship, of course, that they share with the prospect and customers of multiple years of business being together. I think that's where the value is created. And if that is continued, customers will never want to be direct orders or direct revenues or direct reach out to vendors. Everybody, yes, of course, they do not want a layer in between, if you look at. But yes, if the value is created, if the proposition is very clear in the mind of the prospects, I see the importance is always there for partners. And I have huge respect for that. Why? Because they really bring in that value for your business, the reach for your business, and the visibility for your business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we rightly said that they need to improvise and they need to upgrade themselves to remain relevant, right?
True.
So, and I liked your cloud example as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, last question to you: would you like to share any guidance with the audience on the show?
Guidance. So I've seen a lot of people, a lot of big brands coming in on the show and everything. And I think, there's a lot of good, mentoring that is being done. And as I mentioned about your show as well, that you've been doing a good job in terms of bringing the experts on the field to, guide the audiences that really listen to your show. And I must say that your show is really popular, has gained popularity over the years, and today it's quite known per se. If I had to guide the audience, I would really say that I think passion helps ultimately, in any profession that you're in, be it marketing, be it channels, and whatever. Specific to channels, my mantra or my strategy: don't have too many partners, have few of them, invest in them, work with them closely. I do not really want to boast about having 1,000 partners and out of that only few being active. And that's a very sorry state for me, because ultimately, what is the kind of percentage that is really useful to me? So instead of that, focus on few good partners, work with them closely, ensure that you are investing in them and they are able to invest in your business as well. I think better to manage few good partners rather than having too many partners who ultimately do not really just for showcase. I really do not believe in that. So I think that's one of the biggest guidance I can give related to partners particularly. And of course, overall passion helps in any job that you do.
Absolutely. I must appreciate that the way you have put on your thoughts is very crystal clear to me, and I'm sure the audience would be loving it as much as I did. So thank you once again, for joining the show.
Thank you so much, Anand, for this opportunity. I completely appreciate, and it was a lovely interaction with you. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. So, friends, that brings us to the closure of our discussion for today. You can watch the past Marketing Monday session on www.cxotv.news. Keep watching for more interesting upcoming sessions under Marketing Mondays. I wish you all the success and a great week ahead. Stay safe and take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.